Alright, so now we're going to be reacting to TM, which is apparently the quote-unquote true ending to this whole Brockhampton saga. If it's true, there's going to be a very, very sad album to listen to. It apparently includes all of the band members, which is a huge departure from what the family was. I'm literally just recording this thing like back to back, so like the family came out technically today, I guess you could say, and TM as well came out today. And I'm recording this video at the time of TM drop, which is today. But yeah, I honestly don't know how to react to this, like with how the direction was going. I kind of found it a bit underwhelming, at least for initial impressions, because I haven't really listened to the record again at the time of making this video. So yeah, I'll definitely be listening to the family and obviously TM over and over to, I guess, come more as more deeper conclusion. It can be like so separately that it just grows on you. Like initial reaction, I liked it, but then as I kept on listening, I found so much more replayability and enjoyability throughout the replay sessions. But yeah, TM is here. As I said, it includes all the band members, basically the true ending. I'm very excited. I've been hearing some good things about this thing. And yeah, let's just get right into the first track, which is FMG. Okay, yeah, I gotta pause this before, bro. That is such a great flow, bro. Why didn't Kevin have this in the family? I get the family was a bit more traditional, a bit more old school, a bit more Dilla type, and while that's cool and all, like, bro, do you hear the flow and cadence that Kevin has on these hi-hats and on these 808s? Like, that is just perfect, and it's just a fun bop thing that we need. As I said, apparently all the members included, so as much as I love Kevin, come on, bro, give the spotlight to somebody else, please. Alright, so that was FMG. Man, that intro got me extremely hyped for this thing now. Like, this is crazy hype that I'm feeling right now. Like, a track like that should have been the intro, or should have been one of the singles release. Okay, like, hear me out. I think the rollout should have been like the single they released for Family, the first one, and now FMG. And like it'll be like, but those two singles are like two different things. But I get it, it's a surprise album, so I guess it makes more sense. Alright, so I just realized that my microphone was sounding absolutely horrendous and trash for the first reaction, so I'm sorry if I just absolutely obliterated your eardrums in there. But yeah, FMG is a great starter already. It's already getting me extremely hyped for this, even though I was already hyped beforehand. But man, do you hear that chemistry? For 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they destroyed it. They bodied that track. It was like baton passing Persona type stuff. That is getting me super hyped. And let's just go to the second track, bro. I just want to shut up right now. Anyway, number 2, Animal. It's getting me some major Ginger vibes with the pop aesthetics that they're going with this one, and I honestly don't mind. It's sounding kind of fun, sounding very heartwarming, if that's, I guess, an accurate adjective for this. I don't know, it just sounds very poppy-ish and just really nice to just bop your head to. We're getting some God tier vocals. Oh, the pluckiness of the melody. Oh, those synths are going crazy right now. Alright, so that was Animal. Honestly, wow. Like, that's like a perfect follow-up for just the first song. I mean, the first song being such wild, explosive 2 minutes and 30 seconds, followed up by a much smoother, poppier type of a track, and that's a very nice outro, by the way. Whoever made those synths, whoever like just did that synth pattern there, big props to you. That thing was crazy. Really loved the second half of the track. Yeah, so far this is great. So far this is like really great, and this is what I would expect, or what I would. Yeah, this is what I would expect for the finale to sound like. It's like we're paying homage to the things that we did in the past and what brought us here. Yeah, so far, man, this thing is great. again, I'm pretty speechless. It's like literally the first 2 tracks right here. I'm not even kidding. Solos a lot of the songs from the family. I know I'm sort of hating on it. We don't want to hate on it, but basing it on first impressions, I'm gravitating more towards this type of sound. All right, next track, Listerine. Alright, so that was Listerine. It's a bit messy. I think the track was a bit messy. It could have been a bit cleaner. I think the beginning with the Travis Scott sort of impression, and I guess the hook and the chorus of it just being a Travis Scott semi-ripoff, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think that was just Dom in the track in general. Was it Dom and Jabari? I'm not entirely sure who else was in the singing along with him. But yeah, I think this is like kind of disposable, if I'm being honest. It's just like if they were trying to do like their best Travis Scott impression. It kind of falls flat. I think it really does. But anyway, I'm still having faith because the next track is New Shoes, and I've been seeing the behind the scenes for the music video, and I saw everybody with the iconic saturation jumpsuit. So I am mega excited for this. And they had the jumpsuit and the overalls, so I'm mega excited for this. Let's see what we're going to experience with this. Before I keep on going, I know like Kevin was about to snap and throw some other extremely fantastic line, but man, like, okay, what he was saying was like, you know, he's coming with Brockhampton with the groups and stuff like that, come out of nothing, and just shocking the internet and just assembling the members and all. He could have just done this, but just with this level of enthusiasm. Oh my god, I'm running. I love that bar. Cloud has never blocked my shine. I love that from Merlin, man. Merlin always spitting some bars, bro. I think Merlin's an underrated lyricist for real. Like he'd be saying the most out of pocket stuff, very funny, comical stuff. Like he take the ODB of the group, but man, he can spit some bars from time to time. Alright, so that was New Shoes, man, that was a bop, bro. That was a bop. I had so much fun listening to that song. Wow, it's just like everybody is like, it feels like everybody's there, you know. It feels like there's so much more presence now going on. It feels very complete. So far, it might be my favorite track off of this record alone, and we're 1 to 5 tracks deep. This record, as I said, it was a bop. There were some bars in there where they were talking about the chords of the hook segment. We're talking about we're never going to sever ties. We're still going to be connected. We're still going to be in contact, which I love. It kind of leaves like an open door to like a potential forthcoming project, or just collaborations between the solo records that they're going to release on, like Kevin Abstract, for instance. But as I said, yeah, it kind of does leave the question with like, is this really the end? Because throwing a bar like that, especially in the family, it's like we're never going to break ties or whatnot, or we might return. It's really like iffy. It really is super iffy. And since this thing about the announcement of this band was such a huge shock, you never know at this point, because they always troll. They're like the king of trolling. They said they're going to stop making albums around Ginger, or they said they're going to stop, like literally with the Roadrunner tour, they canceled some things, so they said, oh, we're going to take a hiatus, and then the same year they said, oh yeah, we're going to announce a final album. And it's like, well, like, decide, are you going to like quit or not? But I don't want them to quit. I really don't want them to quit. I want them to like just keep on going. But anyway, moving on to the next track, we got Keep It Southern. Alright, I was Keep It Southern. For almost a 2-minute track, that thing was kind of boppy, and I gotta lie. I mean, Merlin slid, he came out of nowhere. He just spit it like his life depended on it, pause. But man, like I'm thinking about this right now, that's like this is probably Merlin's album. Like, for me thinking about it, I mean, Merlin is like the biggest star right now out of everybody else. everybody's doing great. Like Merlin, bro, he's stealing the show with these verses and this flow and cadence, the energy. Man, that's like bro, Merlin is running, honestly. Like, Merlin just ready to go. Anyway, we're going to Man on the Moon. Oh my gosh, it's a Kid Cudi reference. Oh. No, Lil Sin's going crazy right now. Positive, bro. Wow, I did not expect that track to go that way. I did not expect it to go that way. That drum beat was such a great addition. The synth that's going on in the background gave me some very old school 2000 vibes. Wow, that's great right now. That first minute was just freaking great. That build up, everything was great right now. It was crazy. It was freaking crazy. Doing some major Saturation 3 vibes. I don't know if any of you have seen Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's this X character who really wants to be on the moon, and she just, I guess, envisions herself to be on the moon, just spend her life in there. She's like, it's beautiful. And then just one song is playing in the background, and it was like such a great song. It's like very heartwarming type of thing. It's very heartwarming indie rock type of song, semi like electronic type. And this is giving me those type of vibes. I'm like now like envisioning the moon scene and just I guess the beautiful aspects attached to it. Yeah, I mean, if you saw Edge Runners, you know what I'm trying to say. Definitely watch Edge Runners. Great anime. That was Man in the Moon. Freaking amazing track. It just came out of nowhere. Production, I like how it let the beat speak a lot. Structure wise to the song, it's very minimalistic. It's minimalistic. It's a bit more like on loop, and I do not mind that at all because the beat, as I did, speaks for the most part. It keeps on evolving. It's super beautiful. The arpeggios that are in the background, the synth leads, the bass line, everything is just mixed perfectly in here, and that's exactly how you should end off an album, especially with a bop like that. Just like I was getting major Saturation 3 vibes. I'm trying to think of the song that reminds me. It sort of reminds me of Tokyo. I was at Saturation 2. And some sort of like semi-dance track on Saturation 3. It reminds me of that era and that phase of it, the super danceable tracks and from there. Man, as I said, that was a bop. That was a bop. Anyway, next track, Better Things. Like a deep through my eyes, save me a slice, running through the streets in the night, and I'm on front line. It sounds like Mad. Is that Mad or Joe? I'm not entirely sure, bro. That was gorgeous, though. Bro, those synths are going crazy, bro. These synths in this album are crazy. The keys, bro. That was Better Things. I mean, just as the track suggests, it really is just wishing for the better things. There's a huge emphasis on that. It feels like Paradise, really. When I'm listening to that song, it just feels like Paradise. The lyrics, wishing for it, just wishing to stay with somebody, stick with somebody. I think it's a great like follow-up to Man the Moon, especially with the very love type concept that's attached to it. But I thought that was kind of gorgeous and very sweet. But yeah, that was a very nice track. It really was. It's a very nice track. I don't know if that was Matt that was singing for the majority. The hook, that was props for him. That was some great vocals. I know that Jabba was slid in there in the end. But yeah, everybody just did pretty well in that track overall. Again, it's giving me that Edge Runners type of scenario image in my head, and that's just exactly what I enjoyed about it. It's very meditative. I think it's very meditative, and that's how you really want to end up the record. You want to end it up with a lot of things, especially things that are going to make you think even after listening to this song or record. Anyway, we're going to go to Crucify Me. Wow, I have a huge grin on my face right now. Little Matt can slide. Damn. This is pretty. This is like very freaking gorgeous. Like from Man on the Moon to now, bro. These two tracks have been sparkly, glittery, gorgeous, like scenery type thing. Man, this is great, man. Like I love that they put Matt in this song because he fits in any type of these like vibe, romance type scenarios. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Oh, these keys are so great. Bro, Joey just put some cocaine in here, bro. Oh, this guy's snapping. Oh, bro, this is a great outro. That was a trip. That was a trip. These guys mix some freeform jazz with some R&B. All the verses were great. The outro was just magnificent. I want you guys to know, right, that we're on track 9, which is Duct Tape, and I'm liking almost all of the songs in this record so far. This thing is freaking great, bro. It is great. It is just like grandiose. It's like we're done. We're going off with a huge bang, which is exactly what I asked for in the last video, and what I asked for personally, what I envisioned as a final Brockhampton. They're like reinventing themselves in the process, even going out in the bang. Wow, that was a beautiful song. Beautiful song, bro. Bravo for that. Damn. Anyway, we're going with Duct Tape. I don't know, personally I wasn't a huge fan of that track. I felt kind of boring at times, kind of slow. It felt really long. I mean, it's almost 5 minutes long. I just think it is the longest track on this record. I don't know, there was not a lot of movement with the track. It felt kind of stale. I think after a minute or two you kind of get what the entire track is like. It felt very autopilot-like, and I did not really enjoy that. But anyway, it doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It's just kind of autopilot background type. I don't know how to explain it, but so far this record is still freaking great. I'm really loving this thing. Anyway, we're going to track 10, Always Something.
Days and the days never take offense. Thin skin turn thick, scar tissue, man. They don't mean nothing.
Always Something, I think, is an okay track. I wish it offered more. It's the same complaint I have with the previous track. It feels kind of lackluster, a bit autopilot. It has some nice performances, I think, in comparison to the last one. It had some, I guess, decent performances. Reminds me of like a Roadrunner B-side type of song that I could fit there, but it's one of the more disposable Roadrunner songs. Yeah, not a huge fan of this one, but still, I don't think it's gonna kill my... It's still not killing the energy, the vibe from the album in general, though. It's slowing it a bit, but it's not killing it. Anyway, we're going to the final track. It's titled Goodbye. I know I just said this at the start, but like I should be tearing up and stuff. Cause like this is supposed to be the finale. I want to have the vision this is the finale, despite them leaving an open-ended sort of like question or answer saying that, oh, we're not gonna re-sever ties completely. I still want to picture this as like the finale and everybody it's just departing. So let's see, man. I mean, I like the family ending a bit. It was kind of cool, even though it was just Kevin. This one, for 2 minutes and 50 seconds, gotta be some like out of this world type ending. So let's see what they're cooking right now. Alright, so that was Goodbye. Kind of an odd way to end it. I think it was more of a goodbye to, I guess, the relationship concept that's played throughout this record. Ever since this, I think the second half until the end, it's very lovey-dovey, focusing more on relationship. Said kind of like Ginger-esque. It's kind of Ginger-esque, that thing. A bit more sweeter, a bit more, I guess, full of compassion, which I don't necessarily mind. I thought it was fine, kind of cool, kind of fine. But yeah, I think the ending is alright. I don't know why, but it's just, I expected a bit more with these endings, to like be like a super drastic, like grandiose ending. Well, it wasn't that. I guess it's okay. It's still making me ask a question. Is this really the ending? Like, is it like really the end for Brockhampton in general? Like, because I was expecting like the final song ever to be like Wu-Tang Cypher type style, like a 12 or 10 minute cut, like the best thing ever made in their life. But this is like really the ending. It's okay. It's fine. I enjoyed the record throughout. But yeah, that concludes TM. Wow, what a great experience, honestly. I had a lot of fun throughout this record. As I said, this is a final record for Brockhampton. I think they ended up in a kind of a high note, I gotta say. I think I left with some bops in here, a good amount of bops. And while this wasn't super consistent, especially in the last 3 songs that I believe were a bit slower and kind of pulled down the momentum that the record was carrying in the first and second half, it's okay. I mean, the record was carrying the first leg in the middle section, it's fine. I think overall this thing is a great album. It's much more engaging than whatever The Family was. I feel home. It feels like home, like if that's the way to describe it. It feels like everybody is really just partaking into this thing and they're trying to do their best out of it. And it does feel like a passion project. A comparison to Family. That Family, I guess, was more of a let's just give her this deal, this RCA deal, just for the hell of it type of record. Very rushed. But yeah, this is really how you should end. This is really how you should end the saga. If this is how they're ending the saga, as I said, like there's a lot of ifs thrown around. But this is the last time I'm going to be making a reaction video or just listening to a Brockhampton record. Well, I'm wasn't going to be listening to Brockhampton records, but this is the last Brockhampton record I'm going to be listening to, like first experience type. Then they ended off with a high note. They ended off with a bang. I'm happy. I'm really happy they did this and they didn't just throw something out just for the hell of it and just to get rid of everything. But yeah, I mean, a part of me is still trying to analyze and process this departure and this thing that's going on. Part of me like wants to cry a bit because like Brockhampton has been the group for so many. It's been like the group that has been taking over the world by storm, especially internet by storm, for the last 5 years. And from 2017 till now, they've been making so many waves, so many trends, being such an odd group, and just carrying the torch of what Odd Future did, and just perfecting the art of group and collaborations and compassion. It's everything anybody would have asked for, and it's perfect seeing this run. And just analyzing this like 8 album run, really at this point it's 8 albums. They've been extremely consistent, and they barely missed with this record album run. And I will say, without a doubt, this is one of the best album runs I've ever seen in my lifetime, and I've ever seen in music history. This is gonna be studied, bro. Like aside the Saturation trilogy, Iridescence, Ginger, and Roadrunner has been great albums. They have been great, consistent records. Even despite some changes with the aesthetics and not, I guess, being up to par with Saturation, it's still great. I mean, imagine dropping a great record and still having something so great left. Imagine dropping a great record and that thing, quote-unquote, falls flat to the other 3 records you dropped. Like, that is an achievement that, it's a Kendrick type achievement. It's a legend GOAT status achievement that not a lot of artists can achieve. But yeah, it's really sad to see this thing go. If this is truly the ending, as I said, wow, wow. Like I just can't even analyze this. It's like finishing a show you've been watching for years. That's like the reaction or the emotion that I'm feeling right now. It really is that type of feeling. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of, happy, because I'm glad that they feel liberated. I'm glad that they're now independent, and I'm glad that they had this run, because obviously every journey comes to an end, and I'm glad this journey just carried on as it did. I really am. A thing that I was going to say is that Amir wasn't in the family or in this album, and that's fine. That's completely fine. As I said, I understand the scenarios, I understand the messed up things he did, I understand how messy it would get to really partake in this album, especially with people's feelings about it. It's okay, it's fine, but I saw the name mentioning about it there. But a thing that I really admire from TM is that it doesn't linger on in a depressive state. It's just them doing whatever they want to do. So despite some tracks that I wasn't a huge fan of in here, it still felt like they were trying to do it. Like it still felt like it was a passion thing. It's like, despite maybe not me loving every single song, they were doing it out of their heart, the villains out of their heart, and they were just giving them all out, and they're saying, we're going off with a bang, and we're going to be just doing whatever the hell you want to do. And that's exactly how you should end off a record, despite maybe not everybody enjoying or loving every single song. That's how you should go. And I'm glad they did this. Now thinking about it, I think TM stands for team, which, if it does stand for team, that's a great way. That's a great title for a final album, for a group especially. Great ending. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do a follow-up video for this, because let's say I'm trying to just unpack so much stuff that is going on right here, and I am in a moment of confusion, in a moment of glory and happiness in some sort of way, because I'm happy that we got to see the saga carry out and just see how it ended. But man, TM, great record, definitely superior in the family. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the reaction, subscribe, turn the notification bell on if you miss an upload from me, and dream team and stream the entire freaking Brockhampton discography. Peace out, everybody. Stay safe from COVID.